From each happily ever after, every wish upon a star. Let's break down the movies that shaped who we are. From memory lane to now and everything in between. The most famous of films to the ones we've never seen. Decade by decade, all the times we laughed and cried. And with a little pixie dust, they will all take flight. Reliving the feelings, and we're trying our very best. And if they mean the same to you, please be our guest. So hop aboard, we would love to have you as we hang with a certain mouth, the whole gang too. If you love nostalgia stuff, we hope this does the trick. Thanks for joining us as we deep dive the magic.
Hi, and welcome back to the Deep Diving the Magic podcast. I'm KJ.
And I'm Jeffrey. And we are back today with the 125th Disney feature-length film from July the 1st of the year 1976. It is a film called The Treasure of Matecumbe. And for those that watched our last episode, thanks for watching again. For those who watched our last episode, I mentioned that I didn't know how to pronounce Matecumbe, but I now know how to pronounce Matecumbe because in the intro song of this, they just keep singing it over and over and over and over and over again.
I also thought the same thing and kind of giggled to myself because I was like, well, now you will for sure know how to say it because it was a thing that just kept being repeated over and over and over.
They were like, we're going to make sure everybody knows. But either way, we made it to July of 1976 and we made it to the 125th film, which is very impressive. The Treasure of Matecumbe is based on a novel called The Journey to Matecumbe by Robert Louis Taylor. But would you like to start us off with a synopsis about the film 125?
In 1869 Kentucky, a young boy and his friends set out to find a treasure chest hidden by his late father in the Florida Everglades during the Civil War.
Yeah. So, you know how you're like, you know what, before I go ahead, any opening thoughts about the Treasure of Matecumbe?
I had no idea what to expect.
Okay.
It had a lot of unexpecteds, I can tell you that.
Yeah. So I'll save the rant, or you know what? I won't save the rant. I'll just do it now. You know how when you're watching something and it doesn't age well, and they put a warning above this? I'm going to put a warning on this episode of this podcast.
Time out this was on Disney Plus.
You betcha. I'm very happy it was because we had to pay for it.
Did it have a warning at the beginning? Because I don't remember it having one.
I don't know. But I'm going to give it a warning because this isn't cool.
It was something.
Oh, we'll get there. But okay. Do you have any facts or you want to just jump right into this Treasure of Matecumbe?
I don't want to spoil anything, so I will just say this is the 90th live action film produced by Disney. And at that point, we can just start diving in because otherwise it's going to not make sense when we discuss it.
All right. So we'll dive right into the Treasure of Matecumbe. They sing the song a bunch talking about how to pronounce it. Someone is seen running through the field. I was going to preface something, but I'm not going to. Whatever. Someone is seen running through a field in the opening credits, and there's a theme song pronouncing Matecumbe. The tired man, he's tired from running, arrives at a fancy house. We learn that this man, whatever, we'll just say it. We learned that this man used to be a slave at this residence prior to the Civil War, and now he's a free man on the run. Okay, you're going to hear that a bunch. Some people show up very racistly looking for this man, but the family is like hiding him, kind of like saying that they don't know where he is.
They actually didn't know where he was at that time.
Okay.
Because he was on his way back, but They hadn't seen him yet.
So basically, there's a thing called, and I don't even know if this is a rude term, so whatever. There's a thing called a carpetbagger. Have you ever heard of that before? I had to
No,
like look it up.
no.
Is that an inappropriate term? Because if so, I'm sorry.
I have no idea.
But what it is it's somebody from the north that went down to the south after the Civil War to financially gain from the Civil War. That's what I looked it up.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
So the men that were looking for this guy
Hmm.
were carpetbaggers trying to get money off of this freed slave. I looked it up. So whatever. So these men show up. Look,
What the heck make money off of that?
well, for one, they want this dude's map, but
But did
just
they know he had
cheap labor or whatever. Yeah, that's
Okay.
yeah.
I don't.
Um, whatever. So there's a boy in the house and he wants to play with his friend. Um,
Obvious.
yeah. So what are the kids' names?
Thaddeus and Davy,
Davy is
the
uh
main
the
character.
main character, the son of the household, and Thaddeus is
Well, he's not the son, because
he's
that was
the
his
nephew.
aunt, yeah.
Yeah, the nephew of the household, and then Thaddeus is a child of a former worker of the residence. Okay. I don't even know where I am anymore. The boy from the house wants to play with Thaddeus, but he isn't allowed to. But at night, he does run out to meet them. They also meet this other dude, the runaway guy, whose name I don't know.
Ben.
Ben, the runaway guy, Ben. He tells the boys about a treasure and gold, and that the map is in an old book in the attic.
Mhm.
The So they all go upstairs in the attic to try to find this map, and they end up seeing this map.
Time out.
Go ahead, take it over. It's all you.
I thought they were downstairs eating first.
Probably.
Okay. Well, when they're in the kitchen eating, and Ben is talking to the aunt and whoever else, I forgot what the relation the other woman was, but he's talking to the two ladies and Davy, and I don't remember if Thaddeus was there or not at that time. Anyway, he's talking to them about this book and the treasure map and why he's eating because they made him some food. And when he's in the kitchen, if you look behind him, there's pots hanging on the wall and they make a hidden Mickey.
There you go. A rare delight in this film. So they're upstairs in the attic looking for the map. They end up
Mm.
finding the map like by putting the book in under some light.
Yep.
And the men from earlier.
I think they heated it up, so it must have been like a special
This is this
temperature.
is a special film. The men from earlier break into the house. They literally break the door down looking for the runaway. The boys and the runaway, Ben, grab the map and they escape from the window.
Mm-hmm.
But because this is Disney and everything is a happily ever after, Ben gets shot and dies right away. Boom, right in the beginning of the film, this dude gets shot at point blank range and dies because that's how this film's gonna go. Oh, you think that's the most wild thing that happened in this film? It's not. You think that's the most
Stay
racist?
tuned.
You think that's the most racist thing that happened in this film? It's not. Um, but the two boys end up escaping via horseback, with the map after their friend Ben passes away in front of them. They end up getting into a boat and they row away. The two boys take a sacred oath to never talk about, like to never tell where the map is, talk about the map, the treasure. It's them.
Mhm.
Okay. They pay their way onto a ship,
Mhm.
like a passenger, like Titanic vessel type thing. I don't know.
It was like a ferry
Yeah.
boat.
They pay their way onto the ship, but then other people. So it's basically like pay this much money to have a room, pay this much money to have something, and then pay this much money to stay with the animals. And they pay like the minimum
To
amount.
stay on deck.
And but somebody sees how much money they have in their wallet and gets greedy.
Thief.
And then here's what I wrote. KJ, talk about the boat quarters.
All right, there's boat quarters. I don't know what else to tell you
Some
about.
animals.
So it was more like they were transporting livestock, I guess, and it was kind of set up like a barn, and that's where the boys were going to stay. And when they made their way in there, they found a runaway bride.
A lady stowaway.
Hmm.
Um, she's hiding from the would-be husband. She's
I thought
wearing
that was
like
her
her
brother that came.
maybe it's the same person. Who knows in this film? She's wearing like a wedding dress. Um, After they leave because they don't have a ticket, the lady gets up and she goes upstairs. And she hustles some men in a poker game to get some money.
Hmm.
Um, the man who saw the kids' money earlier ends up stealing their wallet, so steals their money and the map. But the runaway bride tries to help the kids. And what does she get for her hard heroics? She gets thrown overboard by this man.
She gets a free trip to the river.
Yep, she gets thrown overboard. So then the boys jump in to save her. They all have to avoid the ship's propellers to stay safe. Um, but then there's no ship for them anymore because the ship keeps going and they are in the water.
Hmm. And
They
she had just swindled the swindler for $500.
so the well, it's not quite $500. It was like X amount of money and a ring because the guy didn't have $500. It was like something in a ring because the ring comes into it later. The boys and the lady are on the shore now. The boys won't tell her like their secret. They also won't look at her while she's changing because she's inappropriate, but it's a very 1800s inappropriate. This film is a very 1800s inappropriate. But um but they won't tell him anything except for that they lost their map. This is where she uses her ring that she got in the con poker game to trade it in for a mule and a cart for the three of them to ride into the town. But then when they get into town, the lady stops at the sheriff's office, and the lady turns the two boys in for as a runaway, much to their shock.
Hmm.
The boys get put into jail, aka protective custody. But then right away, the boys end up conning the adults into the cell, and the two boys escape. Anything about that? It's supposed to be funny, but it's not. They don't know what a felony means, but they know that they're in worse trouble than that because the carpetbagger guy that shot their friend earlier finds out we're about the jailbreak and are on the boys' trail again. They stumble across a man who is clearly based off of the Wizard of Oz snake oil salesman guy. He has a very famous Disney voice, and he's very much like a I'm gonna con you out of your money. What's it like?
Snodgrass. Dr.
Snodgrass.
Snodgrass.
Yeah, I call him the snake oil salesman throughout this film. So he convinces the two boys to join his show
Hmm.
because, of course, they do. Um, the lady, the lady that turned him in, sees the boys in the show and goes to the authorities. But this is what I don't understand. I don't understand this. So like the two boys are in the show. The lady, the runaway bride lady, like sees them in the show, so goes to the authority. So then the authority dude goes to the show, but then that authority dude ends up being a part of the show because he's like, "How about your glasses?" And like, yeah, I don't know, whatever. The boys part of the show end up coming up. They end up conning the crowd, saying that one of them is injured, something about falling out of a tree, whatever. I don't know. Are after them, of course, and they see them and they're on to them. So the boys flee, causing quite the commotion. The boys are surrounded and they're like being walked off of a cliff by like these men that are after them. But then the lady comes back to their rescue with a gun this time, and she makes the men jump off the cliff, causing them to go into the water below.
Yeah.
Anything about that?
Um, her accent is very Scarlett O'Hara at times, but sometimes it's like straight up not accent at all. It was weird.
So these dudes have to jump into the water. So the lady and the two boys and the conman salesman, Snodgrass or whatever,
Hmm.
take off in his boat to continue their journey.
Hmm.
Um, and they're trying to find this uncle dude. I don't even know. I don't know the relationship. I don't know where this dude came from. I missed it maybe.
Uncle Jim.
Yeah, but why? Where? What's the thing?
Because they need his help to go find the treasure.
But who's Uncle Jim?
I must assume his dad's brother.
I guess Winston has joined the fray. Everybody watching on the camera, Winston has decided to do that. So now, and much more entertaining than this film, you can see Winston's backside on the camera. Winston, come here. Um, because this next part is very important, and everyone needs to see our reactions to this next part. So they're going to try to find this Uncle Jim dude. Now, this is a Disney film. The Disney film that came out in the 70s. Not the 40s, not the 50s, not the 60s, the 70s. So what do they stumble across while they try to find Uncle Jim? Do they stumble across flowers in the field?
Oh,
Or
Uncle
a
Jim.
happily ever after? No. They stumble across a Ku Klux Klan KKK meeting in a Disney film. Straight up hoods on.
But they found Uncle Jim. He's about to be hanged.
But even before that, like I'm not gonna keep saying the name of the thing because I'm not trying to get it banned, but like awful. But they straight up light the cross on fire.
Yeah.
This is being shown in this children's film, and
Is this really a children's film?
I don't know, but so that means that so
If I
far,
read the cover of this movie, I would have never pegged that as a children's film.
but it wasn't released on Tombstone. It was released on or Touchstone. It was released on this, whatever.
I don't know what to tell you.
So now in films we've seen the Nazis and the KKK, but whatever. That's awful. Um, Knock that off your Disney list. So this this cross is on fire. This awful meeting's going on. A bunch of dudes wearing white, and then there's this man on a horse. That's Uncle Jim with a noose around his neck.
And he doesn't even know who Davy is.
Go ahead, talk about more. He's about to be hanged.
He's like, Jim? Uncle Jimmy? And he goes, who are you? And he goes, I'm Davy. And he goes, oh, well, hi, Davy. It's nice to meet you. Sorry for it being under these circumstances.
I am afraid I am all tied up.
Yeah. It's like, okay.
So this dude's about to be hanged on this horse.
Did we ever learn exactly what he was about to be hanged for?
Yeah, for meddling with their business or whatever.
Okay. Uncle Jim is actually not a bad guy. Obviously.
He's
made the Ku Klux Klan very angry, so they decided to hang him. But the best part is all of a sudden Thaddeus.
Before you get there, because that is the best part of the entire film. But whatever the name of the boy is, what's the name of the boy?
Davy?
Davy shoots like the rope down,
Yeah,
causing the
he
horse to
shoots
run
the
off.
rope, it breaks, and
The horse takes
Uncle
off
Jimmy is able to get free.
from the KKK.
Yeah. But the best part is Thaddeus, the little black
And the
kid,
con man.
and Dr. Snodgrass somehow start throwing Molotov cocktails at the KKK.
Yeah. So how about that a sentence that you ever heard in a Disney film? The Molotov cocktails. If you don't know what that is, look it up. At this meeting.
And they got pretty good aim too. It was very interesting.
Yeah. Something I never thought I'd be saying. Molotov cocktails.
Disney Plus.
Yeah. Sure is. So the group of awful people leave because they have Molotov cocktails thrown at them. So Uncle Jim joins the group. Noose still around the neck. The boys ended up finally talking about the treasure, and that they're trying to remember the details of the map because they lost the map when they went overboard. They continue their journey, and so now it's Uncle Jim, the runaway bride, the con man, and the two boys. They stop ashore of like a rough-looking town, and they're like, "What are we gonna do to make these boys or these guys like us?"
when they're on this boat, um, if you look in the background and it looks familiar to you, if you've ever been to Walt Disney World, that's why. Because the scenes from this swampy area beach scene was actually filmed in Bay Lake on Walt Disney's property in Florida.
Yeah, Treasure.
And the Discovery Treasure Island is in the
I've
background.
been there when I was a kid.
There you go. Okay. On to you, Jeff.
Yeah, I'll get there. I will talk about that in a second. So what do they
Oh,
do?
hang on, time out. Forgot one more other thing. Dr. Snodgrass's boat was actually the same boat that was used in our earlier film, Davy Crockett and the River Pirates from 1956.
I mean, if you want to get any more technical, whenever Snodgrass the Comet opens his darn mouth, it's just Prince John talking because he doesn't even hide his voice at all. Um,
Um,
Sucking on his thumb when Robin Hood gets whatever, a much better film. They end up performing this song for the rough-looking strangers who end up instead of like attacking them, perform a song back, and they're all dancing and it's all like Fort Wildernessy. They break into this whole entire dance number because this movie is strange. The men want to dance with the runaway lady, but then it ends up getting broken up because the um, Uncle Jim thinks that they're being passive towards them or
mhm,
towards the lady, and this whole entire fight comes, um, and the party escape. So the party ends up escaping on their boat.
mhm.
Um, I wrote down the lyrics. Heck no, it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I don't know who said that or what it was about, but couldn't tell you. The kids want to put the ladies. Oh, so Thaddeus tells whatever the boy's name is. I don't remember what the boy's name is.
Davy.
Davy, that the runaway bride is in love with him. And they're
Mhm.
like, well, the only way to tell is to put this girl's hand in water and then she'll tell,
Yeah.
which is random. So then they like the girls are taking a nap and they like get like a pan of water and they're gonna put this lady's hands in it, but then they take the hand in it and the water goes flying and she thinks that they're submerging. But then so they all like leave their thing, giving away their quarters, and the carpetbaggers are onto them again. They're spotted by the searching men. The party flees the attack, but they end up leaving their boat and running into the woods.
Mhm.
Jim leads the bad men off, but then it appears that he gets shot. So
Mhm.
then the other party's members steal the steamboat to escape, and they destroy their old boat so no one pursues them. The boys are all sad that having to leave behind Uncle Jim, but they arrive in New Orleans. The salesman wants to send the boys back home, but they don't want to, and they're going to carry on alone. But then the lady won't let them carry on alone, and she's going to go with them. So then, of course, the salesman, Mr. Snodgrass, will also decide to join them. So nothing's changed. They leave on a train, but the pursuers are still onto them. The party makes it to Tampa, which is where they're trying to go. And they obtain a tour guide to help them navigate the Everglades. They paddle past some natives because this film couldn't get any more racist than it already was. Um, and there's definitely some like Jungle Cruise head shrinking masks. Um, and there's also some alligators that are also in hot pursuit. The con man, the oh yeah, the guide ends up leading them right to the men in pursuit because he was actually a bad guy. He was a con guy himself. Um, so then the carpetbagger man attacks the boys. But then they said that they actually lost the map. They don't have the map. So then he ends up trying to shoot Davy, but then the snake oil salesman Snodgrass turns over this makeshift map that he has to save the boy's life. Anything? So they wrote down like what they thought it was to save the boy's life. Uh, the men steal the party's boat to hunt the treasure, but they leave them unharmed. The party is then attached by vicious mosquitoes, because of course it is.
It was the most interesting looking CGI effect I've ever seen in my life. Um, they didn't look like they were on the same plane as the actors.
Mhm.
And they were just a big bunch of dots.
Yeah. And then a Disney storm ensues.
Mhm.
Um, but then all of a sudden they also hear singing. And they look up and it's Uncle Jim. Uncle Jim is alive, paddling towards them in the pouring rain. The whole party is now
Mhm.
together, but as they continue their journey, they see painted masks of the dangerous cougar tribe. Um, and then they get told that the cougar tribe is nobody's friends.
Mhm.
But all the local birds end up flying away because there's a hurricane approaching. Because this is a this was filmed at Walt Disney World, and you and I, KJ, know firsthand how a Disney World hurricane can be awful. But they don't have Pop Century to stay in like we did. So this crazy Disney storm ensues.
In the 70s.
Yeah, I guess. This crazy Disney storm ensues. Which also reminded me of a way better film, that Search of the Castaways that we watched a long time ago. When every single time they get closer to it, like some crazy like natural disaster would happen.
Yeah.
That's what this was like. Um, so whenever they get close, there's this wild storm event, and but they end up braving the wild elements to walk towards the treasure. There's a falling tree that takes out their guide. They all start to dig in the pouring rain, dig through the elements, even though everything's horrendous. So horrendous that a massive wave comes and knocks them all away, but then they end up finding something that is buried. They find the treasure. They find a massive treasure in a massive storm. Or I'm sorry, they find a treasure chest in a massive storm. But then a massive wave comes and knocks Snodgrass, the salesman, away, like takes him out to sea. Game over. Anything about that?
Nope.
Good, we're almost at the end. It whisks him away to the family, or out to the sea. The whole family screams. Um, but they end up venturing away from the water into the woods, where they have to deal with more falling trees, and they end up in the Cougar Tribe burial ground because, of course, they do. And the boys have fallen into the chief's tomb because, of course, he is.
Mhm.
But then they all end up deciding to enter the chief's tomb, even though it's creepy because it's safe there. And then after the storm passes, they go to re-find the treasure and look at the findings of gold and jewelry that they found.
Mhm.
Didn't even look that cool. Nothing.
No, it looked like a bunch of weird coins and some
Mm.
jewels, and it didn't look like real jewels. But
But either way, they end up again having to run from the pursuing men, and all their gunfire, what does it do? It alerts the bad cougar tribe because, of course, it does. The pursuit grows, but it leads them straight into the creepy burial ground. The men end up wreaking havoc on the burial ground because they're like running through it. But
which that's not going to go over well.
exactly. But as they grab the treasure, they are joined by many upset cougar tribesmen wearing the masks. Um,
Actually, they didn't see them at first. They just started being shot by arrows everywhere, but they seemed to be coming from nowhere.
yeah. The good group ends up hiding, watching their plan come to fruition.
Hmm.
The bad men are surrounded and captured. They are forced to become, is it squaws? Is that what it's
Yes.
called? What's a squaw?
They're being turned into slaves.
Okay. For the tribe. So now the
Yep.
workers for the tribe. Luckily, the hero group is not spotted after like a tense time, where they think they may be. The tribe carries on with their new squaws, and the good guys take their treasure back to the boat. And much to their delight, they see the Dr. Snodgrass snake oil salesman guy on the beach. He's all beaten up, but he's still alive.
Mhm.
Happiest thing to happen in this entire film. Uh, the
No, 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 no.
the
The kid getting to throw the Molotov cocktails.
Molotov cocktails.
That was probably
What
the
is a
best.
Molotov cocktail?
So it's
Alcohol on
basically,
fire or whatever?
yeah. So I'm assuming at that point it was something that Snodgrass must have had in
Mm,
his tonics or something,
yeah.
and they caught it on fire with the cloth. So you put like a cloth down in it, set that on fire, and then it burns, and then you throw it, and then it explodes when it
Oh.
lands.
All right, so we cut to
Anyway.
the three adults and the two children, and their guide take the treasure and begin their journey back home. The kids ask them to come and live with them, and that's the end of the film.
Mhm. It was a film, all right.
I wrote, I'm the positive guy on this podcast. I wrote, I am so happy that was on Disney Plus, so we didn't have to pay for it.
I am confused as to how that is on Disney Plus.
And
And some
some
of
of
the
this
other
now.
movies that we have watched are not on Disney Plus.
Yeah. I also wrote, before I let you dive into your ratings, I think I may have disliked this more than Pollyanna.
Wow. I didn't hate it. I didn't like it. I gave it a 5 out of 10.
Dude,
I
on,
was like, you know what? It's gonna be just in the middle for me. It wasn't anything special to write home about. I don't think I'll ever see myself watching it
it's
again.
so ridiculous.
I don't know how it's on Disney Plus. Like I said, when some of the other movies that we've seen were not on Disney Plus. I don't understand
If
that.
you look on IMDb, like viewers like ratings,
Mhm.
they're like nostalgic, Disney magic, and I'm like Disney magic.
I'd never even heard of this, so good for you for that being nostalgic. That's interesting. Anyway, IMDb gave this a 6 out of 10. So I mean, it's higher than I expected it to be, but um, it is not a treasure for my list upon a star though. So sorry, guys. So with that being said, my list upon a star is 101 Dalmatians, The Parent Trap, Sleeping Beauty, Dumbo, The Apple Dumpling Gang, The Strongest Man in the World, Napoleon and Samantha, Snowball Express, The Jungle Book, and The Aristocats.
Yeah, go ahead, watch it. It's on Disney Plus. Just know that we're gonna be throwing Molotov cocktails at the KKK.
I still can't believe that we watched
With
that in a Disney
this
movie.
giant cross on fire. But whatever. I can't handle it. But whatever, whatever. My list upon a star is 101 Dalmatians, Mary Poppins, Peter Pan, Robin Hood, which is a much better voice. Speaking, time out. Pause. This dude is like a famous actor. The
Mhm.
dude who plays Snodgrass.
Mhm.
I mean, it's 100% the voice of.
And he was also the other
Yeah, that's what I was
guy.
gonna say. So he's the voice of Prince John from the
Mhm.
Robin Hood,
Yeah.
but he's also like the awfully racist guy in foreign face paint in Our Dinosaur is Missing. So this dude's track record is not great in Disney films.
All right. Back to your list upon a star,
So my
Joe.
list upon a star is 101 Dalmatians, number one. Number two, Mary Poppins. Number three, Peter Pan. Number four, Robin Hood. Number five, Alice in Wonderland. Number six, Bedknobs and Broomsticks. Number seven, Babes in Toyland. Number eight, The Apple Dumpling Gang. Number nine, Napoleon and Samantha. And number 10, on the chopping block, The Aristocats. You know what those films all have in common? They're all better than this film that we just watched. But um, maybe you like it. I
Uh,
didn't see it before this, and I don't get it. And I'm not like Mr. like edit PG kind of dude, but like, yo, I don't get it. But either way, we watched it. The Treasure of Matecumbe. We are on Instagram if you want to say hello. We are on Spotify if you want to hear my beautiful voice.
you can also watch it on Spotify
It's
as well.
true. It's true. I always forget that. Speaking of watching, you can watch us on YouTube where you can see Winston put his butthole on the camera for
His
this
butthole's not on the
for
camera.
this butthole film. Um, he walked across the. Um, and of course, you can send us an email at deepdivingthemagicpod@gmail.com. If this is your first time watching this, we have watched 125 films. Most of our reviews are much more glowing than this.
Yeah.
We love the Disney company, as you can see with our background over here. So thank you so much for hanging out with us. If you want to give us a like, subscribe, follow, tell your friends, we
Yeah.
would love that. Um, Thank you for joining our new schedule of Tuesdays. Our next film, we're actually moving just a few days into the future. So we're staying in July of the year 1976
Mhm.
for film 126. And it is a film I can't wait to watch. And hopefully it's a palate cleanser than this film. And it's called Gus. Going back to the animals.
All right. Thanks for deep diving the magic.
Bye.
Bye.